Hey, what's up, guys? This is your boy Strider Chip. I am back with another one, as you guys can see. Today, guys, we're going to be doing a deck profile on a ultimate Namekian power deck profile, as I like to call it. Namekian focused deck base here, using Piccolo facing new foes. I decided to go with a new Piccolo leader. However, there's another one that was the Piccolo Supreme Power I was kind of debating among, but I decided to go with this one. So let's talk about the leader, cards, everything else like that here in the deck. Let's have some fun with this. Now with this leader here, basically the auto skill is you discard one card. When this card attacks, you're looking at the top 5 cards of your deck. You're looking for a yellow card among them, and you're going to shuffle your deck. And then it says awaken 4 life or less. If you have a model yellow Gohan superhero Z battle card in play, draw 1, untap 1 of your energies until you have 6 left. So essentially, with the front side of this card, it kind of shows how very versatile you can be with this deck. It doesn't necessarily favor that of Namekians. It's just yellow cards in general, and I really like that about this leader. I think you can do a real lot with this. With the other one, the Piccolo Supreme Power, it works well with Namekians. That's why I was kind of debating with it, but so far I liked how this one does a lot with the, just taking advantage of yellow. It says yellow cards, so you're looking for battle cards, unisons, or extra cards that you need here. You're going to be taking advantage of it with that effect. When it's flip side up, auto once returned. When you play this card, when you play a yellow card from your drop or a Z battle card, you're going to draw 1. So typically, you may not pay a lot of, excuse me, not say pay, but play a lot of yellow cards from your drop. There is a card in your Z battle deck that does do that. So yeah, you could take advantage of that part of it, but Z battle cards for sure, you're definitely going to take advantage of that. You're going to draw 1. So essentially you'll be drawing like maybe 7 cards or so, but actually probably more than that. When I think about it, more than that. It probably a little bit more than that. When this card attacks, you draw 1, discard 1 card from your hand. It says active battle. Once per turn, you're going to discard 1 card from your hand. Use one of your yellow battle cards with a 5k power from your drop, right? From your drop. From your drop in your combo with his skills negated. And then this card gets a 1000 power for the battle. So essentially you'd be at 21 instead of 20. That's actually pretty good. 21 power for a swing. That's pretty good, providing that pressure. So I was talking about, So typically you're gonna be playing, whenever you play a Z battle card, I would say typically you're gonna play. You have 7 cards in this deck, so at least 7 times you're gonna probably do that. Whenever you're not gonna necessarily play things from your drop area at all. You're not gonna necessarily do that. Play a yellow card from your drop area unless you have cards that allow you to do that stuff, unless you have it. And I don't think I really have any with this deck, but let's go ahead and talk about I wanted to talk about the obvious here with some of these things here. I wanted to talk about some of the things that we rarely see, but yeah, let's talk about things we rarely see. Let's start off with the Z deck. So if you notice, guys, Son Gohan facing new foes. This is a mandatory staple for this deck. You need it in order to awaken as quickly as you possibly can. Deflect, dual attack. You guys should already know what it does. When you play it, your opponent's battle card switches to rest mode. As long as your leader is a yellow Piccolo superhero, which it is. If you notice that we're playing hit pursuing improvement, a deflect blocker. If you have 3 or more energies, when this card attacks, you activate blocker using one of your mono blue Universe 6 multi-color cards from your drop in a combo with his skills negated for the turn. And at the end of your turn, you're going to switch up to one of your energies to active mode. At the end of your turn, switch this card to active mode. So this is actually pretty good. So this card right here, I think, is a lifesaver. It's going to be on the board a lot. It's has low cost to it. You can swing with it, and you're at 25k right off the bat. You have at least 8 targets for a Universe 6. 8 targets for Universe 6, and some of them will be in your drop area for sure. Some of them, at least one of them will probably be in your energy. But yeah, this card right here I think is amazing. It's a good blocker. You're looking at 25k block, a 25k swing. It's putting pressure on the board, just allowing your cards, providing offense and defense for when you need it. I think that's actually pretty good. I think this cards are pretty good for this deck. Now, notice I didn't put Shinron in this deck. I don't think it's necessarily needed. You could use it. It could work. I decided not to go with it, but I decided to stay away from that. Some of the things that you already know about Krillin is another blocker. He's there just to supplement your Z Awaken, so you can play it for free. And then we have Piccolo, which are going to be taking advantage of him as a Z Awaken as well when we get to maybe 3 lights or less. Taking advantage of the board, probably going for game with this effect as well, the active battle effect, discarding 2 master teaching cards from your drop to warp, and you're going to play 1 Piccolo superhero. You're gonna choose one of your Piccolo superheroes and get a double strike for the battle. So, and that could be, this card is a target for it. Piccolo New Evolution. This one's dual attack. You already know what it is. I think this card is pretty good for board control. It's a staple for anything Piccolo superhero related. Is a staple for it, so it works well with this board control. Playing it in 1 energy. It just doesn't have deflect in it, but you already know what it is. You guys should already know what that one does. Let's talk about the newer Namekians, the win conditions actually to the deck. Okay, so even though that was technically a win condition, but these are newer cards. Sunel, Burton, shouldered. It says Union, absorb 1 energy, choose 1 Namekian card in your hand or battle area. You're gonna place it under this card. You're gonna play 1 Sunel with an energy cost of 2 or 3 from your deck or hand on top of this card. You're gonna shuffle your deck if you look through it. When you play this card from your hand, you're going to play 1 Paringa card with an energy cost of 1 from your deck in rest mode. You're going to shuffle your deck. So essentially, this is that card you want to have as in mulligan hand. You want this one here, or you want Paringa, which does basically the same thing, having both of those cards in the field, and it allows you to evolve on top of these 2. And this one, they're both 3 drops. It says while it has energy exhaust, evolve on it for 2. You can evolve on either Purina or Sunel, it doesn't matter, which is cool. It says while this card has 2 or more cards under it, it gets a 15k power. It does say active main. Choose one of your Namekian cards. You're gonna place it under this card, and then one of your opponent's cards from their hand. Your opponent places 1 card from their hand at the bottom of their deck, which is pretty cool. That's really, really good. And this also has pretty much, this one just draw power. This one has draw power, where the other one has hand destruction. So these are typically your win conditions to the deck. You're getting 35k, and you can do that possibly by turn 2. At least one of these on the board by turn 2, even turn 3 for sure. Turn 3 for sure, you can have both of these on the board, and you're combining that card with weights on 1 shoulders. Now the first active battle skill you're not going to worry too much about, but you could take advantage of it. It says choose one of your Namekian cards in your battle area and switch it to active mode. Gets a 1000 power for the battle. That don't do too much, but actually it does help a little bit. It does help, but typically the second effect is what you're taking advantage of. You choose one of your Namekian cards. For each Namekian card under it, it gets a 5000 power and up to a maximum of 15k power and double strike for the battle. So essentially, let's say you give it another 15k. You're at 50k essentially at that. You're probably at 50k with it, right? 50k and double strike either with the Sunel or Purina, and you did that all for 1 energy. That is basically a Furthering Destruction Champa or a Hidden Power East Supreme Kai, but Namekians. I think that's actually pretty good. Going early in game, that's a heavy hitter. Most people are not going to out combo that. They'll probably just take the hits on in, and then providing more pressure you have on the board for more cards. As you notice that I have Piccolo ready to fuse. This one's a target for, Piccolo New Evolution. He's swinging multiple times. You know what I mean? So this is a Searcher. You guys already know what it is, Searcher. We have our Lord Slug engine, providing what we need here for your opponent to not draw as many cards. We have, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, University State, a really strong card. Deflect. When this card attacks, your opponent chooses one of their battle cards, ignoring barrier, and switch it to rest mode. This one, you can choose one of your opponent's battle cards and rest mode, KO it. And you can play it by if your opponent has 3 or more energies, you get to play this one for your hand. You just need a yellow Z battle card to play, or a yellow Z leader, 2 energy to play it. And if all your battle cards in rest mode, you can switch this back to active mode to swing again here. So it has that conditional dual attack to it. Definitely a staple here for this deck. You probably noticed that we're playing Ancient Wisdom Guru is the super combo as well. Early game, 5 or less instead of 4 or less. 5 or less is pretty good. Technically, you could replace this one for a god, since Piccolo does count as being a god as well. Namekian in god. Let me double down on that. Make sure. I'm pretty sure that he is a god. He is a god. For sure on that. I mean, literally, the Namekians created a Dragon Ball, so of course give it a god. See, he's a god card. Yep, he is in Namekian in the god. It says it right there, front back. Namekian in god. So that's actually pretty cool. Yeah, so technically you could replace it if you want to. We're running with 1 Piccolo Gohan Newfound Might. Just one of these cards. You guys already know what it is. There's not much to really talk about with this one. Staple. Probably one of the best super combo cards in the game. No doubt about that. Board control, you play it, or even when it attacks, draw 1, choose one of their unisons or battle cards and switch to the rest mode. Real good stuff. Those are just normal. Some of the stuff we looked at, just normal staples. This card right here is a replacement for Frieza's Mecha Frieza's Riposte. Robotic Riposte. This is a replacement for it. I think I've talked about this card before. I was playing this at 3. I have this in one of my decks, but I decided to play this at 2. When I played it at 3, it kind of showed up a little too often. Playing it at 2, I think is just sufficient. I think this is definitely sufficient. It's necessary. You guys should know what this one does just by reading it. It's a blocker, counterplay. During your opponent's turn, while your leader is yellow, which it is, your opponent has 2 or more energies, and you have 2 or more Z energies. Reduced energy costing the card by 7. When you play it, your opponent can't attack with non-leader cards, so battle in unisons, unless they choose one of their active mode cards and switch it to rest mode each time. And at the end of your turn, send this card to the owner's warp. Additionally, if your leader is a Z leader, or if you have a Z battle card in play, your leader gains the following skills for the turn: permanent, negate all of your opponent's skills, strike skills for the turn. So that means single strike, double strike, triple strike, and quadruple strike. So that's really, really good. It slows down your opponent completely. Okay, Flying Nimbus. You know, you got to keep up. You got to hang. Kid Goku is my boy, so like I always got to have him with me. Final Flash. I was playing this at 3. I'm gonna play it at 2. Is only necessary in times of necessity. There are probably decks you're going to come across with. They have things on the board that you have skills. They have skills in the card that you need to gate, so you can take advantage of getting rid of them. And that card's just for it. Frieza Army Reinforcement, just for blockers' sake. That's it. And then we have a Simulate, another good Namekian card when you need to look for Namekians. There's another card. So Piccolo Namekian Pride unit. Unique barrier. While this card is in rest mode, your opponent's battle cards can't attack your leader. It says discard 1 card from your hand. When this card is KO, you play this card from your drop in rest mode with it still negated for the turn. So what that means is that you discard 1 card. It's played in rest mode. Everything's negated on the card. That even means the permanent skills. Unique barrier, permanent. It's all negated for that turn. But still, this card slows down your opponent. This is on the board. Your opponent's battle cards can't attack your leader. They can only attack either this Piccolo card, or probably this Piccolo card. That'll probably be on the board as well. Okay, this one's on the board as well. You know, these are cards they want to get rid of. They got to get rid of those 2, and it slows down your opponent really bad, really bad. So it has a lot of this board control, slowing down your opponent. Just overall having more control over what your opponent does than anything. Okay, some other cards we're playing here as well. We're playing one of these Swift Retaliation Frieza. This is counter. You guys know what it is. You're just playing this at 1. You don't need a whole lot of these cards. You get, I'll just say 1 to 2 of these cards. probably 2 would be sufficient. I'm playing it at 1 in case of times of necessity. Then we're playing with Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Absolute Annihilation. Again, this card is for necessity, real strong card. This is a very strong card. Has deflect and barrier on it. That's right off the bat, that's kind of difficult to get rid of. And unique, you're gonna have one of these on the field. And you don't need a whole lot of these cards. I'm playing it at 2. You're gonna play it strategically at a pivoting point at the match in which you want to make sure the match is under your control. Your leader, which is yellow, and your opponent can't activate extra cards. So these negates that they're trying to do, these counters that they're trying to do, unless they switch one of their energies to rest mode. So they have to switch additional energy to rest mode in order to do it. Okay. So let's say they have a 1-drop Weave's Corrosion, right? Or Dimension Magic. They could say Dimension Magic. And they only have 1 energy. They won't be able to use Dimension Magic unless they probably take a life. Right? Well, if they have enough life to even do that with, right? They have to think more critical since this card is on the board. And then also we have Son Gohan Piccolo Heroic Team. I might play this a little bit more, maybe at 3 instead of 2. I mean, pretty much is a game wrap with this too. This could be another win condition to the deck. Dual attack, you guys already know what it is. It has draw power to this card as well. Board removal here to it. It says the active main, you get to choose one of your opponent's battle cards and energy costs a 3 or more. Annoying barrier placed at the bottom of your deck. So this is a good card as well. If you have 5 or more Z energies or 2 or more Z battle cards in play, you activate this skill. Okay. And the first swing is going to be at 24 for the battle. At that, that's if your opponent has a battle card in play. And you know, typically, I would say sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. That's the deck. That's what I came up with so far. I think it looks pretty cool and interesting. I've yet to test it out. It does seem kind of relatively big. It seems 60 cards could be a lot, and typically I don't think a lot of people like to play at 60. I think they prefer probably like 50 something cards per deck. So there's some things that could probably be, I can condense it down to a much smaller form that I really just don't typically need a lot. So these Piccolo ready to fuse, in my opinion, I could probably bring that down to maybe like 3. This Lord Slug to maybe 3. Maybe this to 1. You know what I mean? And maybe this down to, you know, putting a much smaller form here to the card, to the deck here. I mean, it's all debatable. This is just what I came up with so far. But anyway, guys, this is my deck profile on the Ultimate Namekian Power Piccolo deck profile. Let me know what you think. Comment, rate, and subscribe. Again, let's go ahead and climb to the top. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and peace.